Welcome to CivilNet. My guest today is Bard Hekland, who is with the Norwegian Centre for International Cooperation and Education. And so why are we talking to him, you may say. Bard, welcome. I'm going to explain why we're talking. Your center supports several programs in Armenian universities, one at the State Engineering Institute, Polytechnic, and the other at the State University, Yerevan State University. And they're both in the applied sciences, one in organic chemistry and one in microbiology. And our viewers know this isn't what we regularly do, but the part of this that's fascinating, I think, and that will be very important for our society to understand, is that you are working with the scientists, you're working with the applied scientists, and yet the fields that have been chosen have a huge environmental impact. So, welcome to CivilNet. Thank you for coming. And tell us how these fields are chosen. Do your colleagues, our scientists here, choose these fields? Do you do this from Norway? How does this work?
Well, this program is funded by the Norwegian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We are handling it on behalf of them. And it's covering 11 countries, from Moldova in the west till Kyrgyzstan in the east. And our aim is to create more linkages between Norwegian universities, university colleges, and institutions in your countries. So yes, to some extent we can say that environmental issues is one of the prioritized areas, but not all projects are dealing with environmentally related issues.
So at the same time, though, I know, because we too benefit from the support of the Norwegian Foreign Ministry, I know that one of the priorities for the government of Norway is environment. So it just works out that way, that in this case our need and your support have matched.
Yes, our basic consideration is that there must be real interest on both sides from the scientific personnel who are going into this. But one criteria for who's to get the money is actually that it's in accordance with our policies in the region.
The fact that you're working with two different universities and the fact that they're both have environmental impact issues. One of them is the microbial environment for organisms in Sevan and other places, including ore deposit spaces. And the other one is organic environmental chemistry. These are long-term projects?
They are long-term in the case from 3 to 4 years.
So enough time to do what? Is the purpose to change the educational system, the curriculum, or is the purpose to really support research in particular areas? Which is the direction?
This is mainly an educational program. It's a program to improve on the curriculums and the teaching methods, on the way we teach at university.
How do you do that?
Partly assisting each other, looking at how can we change these programs, how can we make PhD students, for example, in some of these cases, PhD students go to Norway, take courses in English, come back again. They bring some equipment that makes it possible to do analysis that were previously not possible to do. There is also elaboration of some new textbooks. Generally, there may be directly scientific elements, but our main concern is that those people, they should give long-term improvements in the educational programs, especially on master and PhD level.
So theoretically, this could just as easily have been in the social sciences or the humanities?
It could. In some countries, there are more social sciences projects, yes, but it's very fortunate that there is such a linkage. But what is crucial, what we know from experience, is that there must be a genuine interest among the people who at both sides to get this through. Because we have gone from a situation 6 years ago where almost no connections are on university level between Norway and all of these countries. Just a few individual contacts to a situation where we really get more and more applications and more quality applications. So we see these also as part of a broad strategy to a context points. But of course, environmental issues are also high on the Norwegian agenda, so that's fortunate.
The relationship is multilateral as well? In other words, do the institutions in Armenia, therefore, through this program, also cooperate with those in Moldova and elsewhere? Or is it Oslo, Armenia, Oslo, Moldova?
It doesn't necessarily need to be regional. Some projects are regional, some projects have multiple universities in one country, some have included up to 5 countries. But we think that sometimes it can become very complicated if you have very many partners in very many places. So yes, it's a priority to also encourage regional cooperation, but we are not excluding bilateral projects between one institution here and one institution in Norway.
The fact that these institutions and these projects have been selected, does that say something about the quality of the department, the education in those particular fields? Can we feel proud that these are good programs and therefore are getting support, or should we say, oh my God, these must be miserable programs, that's why they're getting support?
No, I think they must be, the main issue is they must be good enough to be able to do these things in a reasonable way. They need to make an application which is actually clearly stating what they're going to do, why they're going to do it, how this fits with the overall strategy of the program. And they have to convince us that they are willing to do this, and especially from the Norwegian side, that they're willing to put quite some effort into something that is maybe not the most prestigious thing to do at Norwegian University.
Prestige is a word that is really important in these post-Soviet systems. And if you're talking about Kyrgyzstan and Moldova and Armenia, I imagine you come up with resistance or obstacles that are common?
In Norway or
here, in the 11 partner countries, in Armenia, in Moldova, resistance from our side?
Well, yes. There are challenges. There are challenges of transfer of money. There are challenges of how to deal with things. And sometimes we have cultural differences. We talk to each other, but we don't understand each other. But I think that what I see is that when people meet, when people sit together in a room, not only sending emails, but when they talk together and get to know each other, very often those things can be overcome. And you create a mutual trust within such a group. And very often these projects have started with some individual researchers meeting in a conference, getting to know each other, knowing that they're dealing with the same things, and actually having a genuine interest in it. But motivation can be different. There can be many motivations, both from the Norwegian side and in this case from the Armenian side.
Do the number of students pursuing a particular degree influence your decision as to who to support and who not? The fact that you've supported organic chemistry and microbiology, does that mean we have a lot of students in those pursuing those fields?
Well, at least from what I learned recently, for example, in microbiology, it's not such a big department. They rather a small number, more within the chemistry field. But what it says really is that this project seems feasible and relevant and good. It doesn't say something. If we got hundreds of applications for Norwegian Armenian projects, maybe that would be a criteria. But now it's more, is this a good project that is fulfilling our criteria?
I want to come back to the fact that the selection of the direction of these projects is applied. It's not just pure science. It's not microbiology or organic chemistry in some context that is so far from my daily life. In both cases, the way these programs are defined is their impact on environmental systems, on ecosystems, human impact on ecosystems, which is something that is hugely lacking in the environmental debate in Armenia. Is this something that your colleagues here in these departments understand? Do they understand this really has huge application for society today?
Well, that's definitely my impression. Of course, these are equipment that makes it possible to train young Armenians to do this kind of research, which is important when it comes to pollutants, when it comes to pesticides, when it comes to heavy metals concentrations. So it has a lot of application fields. But also, of course, you need to understand the science and to do the science. So motivation there can be many motivations, but I'm certainly confident that this is also strengthening the possibility to do applied sciences, which will be of direct utility to the Armenian society.
We're going to be talking to your Armenian colleagues as well, because it seems to me that this is a wonderful way of demonstrating the nuances and the complexities in discussions like environmental impact. So this is very exciting. Thank you for bringing this project to us.
Thank you.
We've been speaking with Bard Hekland, who is with the Norwegian Centre for International Cooperation and Education. And we've been talking about two programs that they support at Yerevan Polytechnic University and Yerevan State University in environmental sciences, organic chemistry, microbiology. Thank you for following us on CivilNet.